Good morning, Arizona. It is stiff competition. It's 10 a.m. over in Arizona. South Tucson, specifically. It's the internet's only youth football podcast. This is week 8. I'm Bryan Hughes, joined by RJ. Welcome back.
Week hate.
You know what the nice thing is? We had Blood Week last week, but you know what the nice thing about blood is?
Yeah? What's that?
You can't get the stains out. There's still blood everywhere, and there's plenty of blood to go around. So even if you missed Blood Week, which you unfortunately did, there's always chance for another.
Oh,
we had every ranked team that could have lost last week.
Except for the Mulch, if I'm not mistaken. The Mulch, who had not played anybody and have now risen to number 1 just because of the fact that they won. And everybody else didn't.
I'm looking at the rankings right now, and 1 and 2 did not change. Diddlers and Burns and Crack, just because everybody lost. The Mulch were unranked and are back on the rankings. They're ranked number 8 today. The way it happened going into this week was going into last week was so the only 2 teams that were ranked going in that didn't lose were playing other ranked teams, so someone had to lose and someone had to win. 8 ranked teams out of 10 lost. I'm not even sure that we can touch on that, but I mean, I don't know. We got so our rankings sitting right now are Diddlers in at 1, Burns and Crackle at 2, Nothing But Borscht move up to 3. Casa de Gordosa, they move up to 4. Abigail Mays drop to 5. And then 6 through 10 are all brand new teams. Shifty Lou's, Holy Balls, the Mulch Hut in 8. Taxes Roadhouse at 9. And Twin Towers Construction at 10. And that's a good segue because Twin Towers are playing Busted Rubber in our first game.
The first game of the week.
Yep, so we are heading over to that right now. And we're going to go ahead and show you what else is going on the other games. The other games we're showing you right now, they are all heading out of the field for Twin Towers versus Busted Rubber. And that one, we've got Hacking Jeans, Smokless Tobacco, Wearhouse taking on Septic Tanks for Jesus. In that one, Septic Tanks had a tough loss. They had a tough loss last week. They are sitting at, where is their record? They are 5-2. Hacking Jeans 4-3. So Septic Tanks, a big win for them, could put them into the rankings. You know, anybody can get ranked at this point. I mean, there's only one team with 1 loss, I think. Right? That's the Mulch Hut. Let's head over to our other game over here. Oops, got it. That ain't right. That ain't right at all.
I'm just trying to catch up on a couple of things here. Obviously, as the reigning champions of soccer.
Yes.
I feel like, of course, excellence in football in all forms is something that we aspire to all day today.
Still first down.
Of course, yeah. Well, there you go. So we got one again. Congratulations, Atlanta United, the MLS champions. The first time a team from Georgia has not only been able to capture the hearts of its state's fans of sport, aside from the University of Georgia, but actually to capture a championship where people seem to care about it.
And remember, this is in MLS, what is considered a middle to upper tier soccer league in the grand scheme of things. It's not one of the big 4. But if
they're gonna give like the Austrian and the Swedish league and like the Polish league a run for their money. They might give a good run on the Ukrainian teams. I think a good team from Russia beats them though.
I don't know if they beat this team though.
Well, I mean, they better enjoy it while they are. They're getting mined. They're getting raided apparently, coach and everything. Oh, fumble but recovered.
That's the thing. Like I've accepted, like, hey, I'm enjoying this team while we still have all the key players in pace. Because the shoe dropping is, of course, that Gerardo Martino is expected to take the Mexico National Football League job. Yep. As he damn well should, because Gerardo Martino, Tata Martino, is an amazing coach. And Lord knows the Mexican men's national football team had to need somebody to help turn their spirits around if you are so inclined.
They're gonna. It's such a shame that he's just gonna get dragged through the mud. Just by having the name head coach Mexico. It's a shame. Like, one of your players already got signed by Newcastle, I think. Yeah.
And it's not confirmed, but star playmaker Miguel Almirón, who is wonderful, and I love him, might be getting bought at about 15 to 20 million by Newcastle. Easily the most dysfunctional team in the English Premier League. He deserves better.
Well, that's okay, because he's going to have... What is Georgia's stance on fat, shirtless guys in the stands? I imagine they're for him. They're pro.
Listen, you're
going to get a lot of that in Newcastle, is what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah, we're I'd say based on experience with University of Georgia football, which I don't have much because my favorite team's in Division 1 FCS.
Yes.
I think the level of shirtlessness, I think he'll be used to that. Yeah. I feel for him that he's probably just going to be like saddled with the task of trying to lead this dumpster fire of a club out of the bottom half of the Premier League. Because it's like, yeah, if he can't do it, nobody else can. But at the same time, around a lot of people that could, so far it isn't even doing the job.
The point is he's clearly a talent that belongs in one of the higher leagues.
Yes.
To get that. I saw you mention FCS football. It's nice to see that the playoffs have just started. We got 4 teams. I understand it's like Maine, it's North Dakota State, South Dakota State, and was it Eastern Washington or was it UC Davis? I think it was Eastern Washington, I think. So those are the 4 teams that the committee selected to play in the FCS playoffs. Right?
Right. Yeah. I just realized that Kennesaw State dropped one to South Dakota State.
Oh wait, no, sorry. They had 20 teams or 24 teams, and they all played a couple of games already. Take that back. Yeah, Eastern Washington. So the Blood Turf is still alive. I watched that game yesterday. The Blood Turf is jarring. Like, I don't understand why Eastern Washington and Boise State don't do a home-and-home every year.
Oh, my
Just
God.
for the sake of red versus blue.
Better yet, find, like, a neutral site. Like, let's say, like, turn CenturyLink Field in Seattle into, like, a half-red, half-turf field.
Just go half-red, half-blue. Yeah, why not?
Go for purple.
It is 24. Yes, OTT Hodge. I know. Thank you for correcting me. It is 24-team playoff. We're down to the final 4. I caught like a little bit of Eastern Washington on the Blood Turf yesterday. That's about it. And we're gonna go ahead and go back to our featured game, which again is tied at 7 already. Twin Towers and Busted Rubber, and you got to argue this could be for a ranking spot. Twin Towers are in at 10. Busted Rubber got a really good resume so far. They're sitting at 5. They'd be one of. They'd be going to 6-2 with a win, and 6-2 is basically the best record that anybody can really ask for right now. I feel like, because only the Mulch Hut are 6-1 going into it. I don't think we have any other one-loss teams. I'm going through the standings right now. I'm just double checking, checking my math here. Yeah, the Mulch Hut are our only one-loss team. So what this means is 6-2 should get you ranked.
It should.
Unless your schedule is absolutely garbage. And guess what about Busted Rubber?
Is it garbage?
It is absolutely garbage. BCC, bad year for the BCC, which is really too bad. I'm going to tell you about their So, as you know, every team in South Tucson plays 3 non-conference games. Would you like to guess? Now these are teams that have each played 7 games.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the possibility of there being as many as 0 wins across all 3 teams, or 21 wins across all 3 teams. Of the 3, which are, by the way, all wins. So Busted Rubber have played 3 games in the non-conference schedule. They've won all of them, of course.
Yeah.
How many wins would you say collectively do their 3 opponents have?
Are we doing this like Price is Right style?
No, I'm just going to see how close you get.
Ah, goodness. I want to say 6.
6, you're saying? Let me give the chat a second to just guess in case they want to know. I'm going to tell you, if you were playing Price is Right rules, you'd have lost.
Oh, no!
4 wins across. So Busted Rubber, you better fix your schedule and not bank on the fact that your conference is going to be good. Because guess what? Your conference ain't good this year. BCC's down. They got a win over 3 and 4 Tony and Paul's, and that is their best non-conference win. A win away from home at Stations of the CrossFit, who are currently 1 and 6. And they got a win at home against the winless House of Guffaws Comedy Palace. That gives them the worst strength of schedule in all of South Tucson.
I don't think they're the UCF of South Tucson.
Yeah,
I feel like Busted Rubber will at least make sure that they can at least have a chance to play for the title with their record.
Yeah, they're 2 and 2. And remember, the 6 conference champions make it to the playoffs, so that's how it works. They're currently 2 and 2. Their losses were to Captain Chucks and Welders of the Universe. Again, not good teams, 3 and 4 and 2 and 5 respectively. They've only played 1 team with a winning record. This is the second time they played a team with a winning record in Twin Towers, and Twin Towers are beating them right now. They got a win over Rusty Pipe Jobber, who are 4 and 3. And the rest, God, this schedule is terrible. Horse Pussy Saloon are 3 and 4, and Big Paul's are 3 and 4. So really, the BCC is kind of trash this year, and I'm not used to that. Like Twin Towers and Busted Rubber are 5 and 2.
Everybody in the BCC just goes on a fucking tear. Somebody is going to make a late surge up the rankings just because we said that.
I mean, it might be Texas Roadhouse. They're ranked 9th right now. They're 5 and 2, 3 and 1, same as Twin Towers. Busted Rubber's 2 and 2 in conference. Like that, Twin Towers and Texas Roadhouse might be your championship game for just the only spot that conference deserves. I mean, my goodness. We're going to go over to Kathy's Country Cooking, down by 10 to Del Grango's Discount Seafood. And if I recall, Del Grango's are sitting at, where's theirs? They're 4 and 3. Actually, we're talking about how bad the BCC is. The Gluttony League's pretty good this year. The entire fine dining division all have winning records. Del Grango's are 4 and 3, 2 and 2 in conference, and are in last place. So they're
finishing their plates.
Yeah, they are finishing their plates. They are whooping on the quick service division. Because 2 and 2 in the quick service division would get you in first place. So there's a bit of an uneven distribution of power there. Kathy's, again, bottom 3 and 1, 5 and 2, but that's like one of 4 teams that have that record. I mean, this is a powerful conference in the Gluttony League, and we're just seeing what's happening right now. As Kathy's got that touchdown, they're all finishing their plates in the Gluttony League. I don't think either of these teams are even ranked either, but they could make a case. They could absolutely make a case. Both Kathy's and Del Grango's could absolutely make a case in this one if they win.
So I know it's like a major conflict of interest.
Please.
And of course, but do you think Kathy's Country Cooking, is their municipal field going to get a sponsorship deal from Papa John's?
I'll go a little inside the bit. I was thinking, You know what? Screw it. Next year, there's going to be a whole bunch of new players and a whole bunch of new teams being created. Not new teams, but like the same teams. But I'm just going to recreate them all, providing that I can still do that in Team Builder. And I think I'm going to name the stadiums. I think the stadiums deserve some names eventually. So that just might happen. You never know. Like, but that's the thing. It wouldn't be Papa John's Pizza. It would just be Papa John himself that would sponsor it.
It's not. Should be clear. It's not Papa John. It's
not Papa John's Stadium. It's Papa John Stadium.
Yes, to be fair, the disgraced pizza magnate.
Disgraced pizza magnate.
It's just paying for the sponsorship himself.
That is true.
Also, Hodge points out that Kathy's Country Kitchen was at one time a sponsor of the Krusty Comedy Classic.
Yes, again, all K's. A bunch of K's.
Yeah, just like striking out the side in a baseball game.
Exactly. It's just you want to get 2 or you want to get 4, or else everyone's going to be really uncomfortable for a while.
That'll make it 2nd and 7.
Take a look over at what's going on in the AFC game.
And speaking of shit that's on fire lately, I'm guessing you're really excited about. Well, it's not clean old-fashioned hate. It is old-fashioned, but it's not clean.
No, it ain't clean. It's muy sucio. It is muy sucio. Boca Juniors, River Plate. So when last we left this saga, for those who are not familiar, Boca Juniors and River Plate are 2 Argentine soccer teams. They both are from Buenos Aires. They are possibly the biggest rivalry in any sport ever, I would have to say. I don't think you can make an honest claim that any other 2 teams have a rivalry like this one. And so they play each other rather frequently because they're in the same league in Argentina. At one point, they were both the 2 top teams. I don't know if they still are. Maybe they still are. Anyway, they are playing in the finals of the Copa Libertadores, which is the South America's version of the Champions League. And it's a 2-legged final. This is the last year they're doing a 2-legged final. Leg 1 happened what feels like 3 months ago. I think it's closer to like a month ago. It was 2-2 final score. That was at the home of Boca Juniors. I believe 2 weeks ago was supposed to be the second leg at the stadium.
And then riots started happening.
And then riots happened. Apparently, the Boca team bus was attacked. Players were hit with tear gas. Glass was thrown. Glass shards. People were hospitalized. Players were vomiting in the locker room. All of this related to one another. So, without saying, they suspended the game. They didn't even play the game. For a while, they wanted to play the game. Players were trying to come back from the hospital to play this game. The captain of Boca Juniors was possibly going to play with an eye patch. Which, if that's not as solid snake as it gets, I don't know what the fuck is. So leg 2 is today, and it's being played in Madrid, Spain, at the Santiago Bernabeu.
They moved it off the continent.
They couldn't even have it. Not even the city, not even the country. They had to move it around the world to have a safe haven to play this. They said, nah, Paraguay, too fucking dangerous. No, we can't do this. Fucking hey, Real Madrid, you're barely playing in that stadium these days. I've seen your record. Fucking we're doing it here. So I'm sure there's still, Now, there are a lot of issues with this. Number one, the general shithousery, as the word it will be used a lot, of this game is going to just be delightful. Because just all that pent-up rage. I don't think anyone wanted this game played in Madrid except for, like, CONMEBOL and FIFA. They're the only ones who wanted this played in Madrid. They were going to play it in Qatar for a while. Because if there's one thing to get your minds off of riots and violence in Argentina, it's slavery and horrible working conditions and oppression in Qatar. So it's being played at the Santiago Bernabeu for a trophy So two hated rivals in Argentina are playing the finals, the last two-legged final of a tournament called the Liberators Cup, being played in the country that at one point had control of Argentina.
Oh,
You
soccer's
cannot
so
get any
fucking
better
stupid
than this.
sometimes.
This is going to be just, and you know the game is just going to be the most boring fucking thing. So it's starting at 2:30 Eastern Time on Telemundo if you have it. If you don't, you have the internet. You can find a way to watch it. I would implore you to watch. I was glued to coverage of the game not happening when it didn't happen because of all the potential for chaos. Now we have the chaos on another continent. And you know Boca and River fans are insane enough to mortgage their house to make it to this game.
Automatic first down.
You know, like they're just like, fine, I'm opening up a whole nother line of credit. I know I already have 6 credit cards and they're all maxed out and I haven't paid off any of them. But goddamn it, do you think I'm gonna miss the chance to fly over to see my club?
Exactly. And honestly, I would if I was each of those teams, I'd have done something quietly and just provided a way to get a bunch of fans with it. Now, by the way, apparently a handful of tickets are also reserved for Real Madrid fans, which is again another thing that's pissing them off. They bought only one-way tickets. Yeah, possibly. You know, we're getting close to halftime of this first game, but that is starting at 2:30, so do not miss that one. We might be running over that a little bit, but believe me, I am ready, raring to go for that one. We're gonna go ahead and take a look as we are getting to the halftime for some of these games.
By the way, 11 Sports Mafia, we got rugby on.
Oh, 11 Sports Mafia's got rugby. What rugby?
This looks like it's Switzerland versus. Is this county rugby?
Well, it might be club rugby. What are the team abbreviations?
It's SWI versus TOR.
TOR versus SWI or SUI?
Yes, SWI.
SWI and TOR.
I see Betfred sponsorships.
Oh,
now, to be fair,
okay,
I'm very sad that I cannot wager a guy named Fred.
Yeah, you gotta bet Fred, the Brazilian player that everybody hates. Busted Rubber just scored a touchdown. They are down by a touchdown. Gonna head over to that
This is club rugby. I can see people's houses, people's ordinary ass houses that people live in.
Oh yeah, it's
off
definitely
to
club
the
rugby.
side.
I'm just trying to remember what club that could be. It might be like France. It might be the French League of Rugby, if that makes sense. Because the other options are it's England, and I can't think of anything that would start with other than Swindon. That'll be Swindon and Torquay. Is Swindon a rugby club? Because that's the weird thing about like European rugby. There's like only really 3 leagues. The French has a league. France has a league. England has a league, and then Scotland, Ireland, Northern Ireland, Wales, and Italy all have some teams in one big league. I think called the Pro 14.
Yeah, so it's basically like the Continental Hockey League model.
Yes, exactly like that. Yeah, and yet they still have like a Champions League kind of thing, where like half of each of these leagues make this tournament. And it's like, why are we doing this?
Also, the president of France doesn't, like have a favorite team that he's trying to rig the games for.
Oh yeah, I was like, wait, he doesn't or he does? And I'm like, oh wait, you're making a Putin reference. Yep.
Oh.
Putin on the Ritz. We are heading to the Twin Towers. Got a lot of time to just air it out. Oh, caught for the first down. What a play that is. And a flag, so
Yeah, it's safe to say that this is going to be the game that might let the air out of Busted Rubber's tire.
Yeah, I think so. This one's gonna hurt them. I mean, 5-3, good season, but I mean, this is a game you gotta win. You don't have a lot of good games on the schedule. This is gonna really hurt them.
Face mask penalty. Everybody take a drink as per tradition in stiff competition.
Of course.
What are we drinking?
Salsa.
Salsa picante.
I just got, it's like your restaurant style, so it's a little on the like the liquidy side, but you know, it's a little sippable.
Yeah, this is like pure salsa. It's the hot sauce you dip it in. It's not it's not the very chunky pico de gallo.
No. It's the kind that usually shows up with the free basket of chips at the Mexican restaurant. Why will I be watching the replay of Turkish Super League soccer on BN? Well, here's the thing. Now that I have cut the cord.
Defense.
This week
He's cut the cord, folks.
I have cut the cord. I have said adios to Comcast Xfinity's triple play with the phone line I never used and the cable TV package that was getting really expensive.
The cord's been cut.
Yep.
Congratulations! It's a beautiful baby soccer ball.
And I reattached one smaller cord to internet only. And I have Verizon Internet and I have Sling TV with the sports pack. So I have BN Sports yet again. And boy, have I kind of used it. I did actually watch a bit of the Galatasaray game on BN Sports yesterday. I think it was like replays of it. Unless there's one big like rivalry game in Turkey, it's probably not on my radar. And those three teams would be one of Galatasaray, Fenerbahce, or Beşiktaş. I could maybe tell you maybe two or three other. I could maybe name 2 or 3 other Turkish league teams. And that's just from playing FIFA or the Champions League. Yeah, we're going to the half on this game. Let's head over to. Oh, the only game that's still playing right now in the first half is Del Grango's and Cathy's.
Del Grango.
Del Grango's Discount Seafood. We're going to get the ticker updated in just a second for you. Busted Rubber. Ugh. Not looking good so far for them. And I finally found I found a font that is at least if not the same one, it is a similar one to ESPN's Bottom Line. And it's not as wide as whatever I was using, so it can actually fit stuff on this Bottom Line. I'm like, oh good, I can do it. Yes, but who did Fenerbahce play? Did Fenerbahce play Beşiktaş? Because then I care. If they didn't, then I don't care. Cathy's with a touchdown. With a second to go. All right, let's find Turkish League football on my FootMob app. Which, by the way, if you're a soccer fan, FOTMOB is the app that I like. I'm looking at yesterday's scores, not today's. It has literally every league in the world. Fenerbahce, wow, they lost to Akhisarspor. I love that every team in Turkey basically ends in the word spor, S-P-O-R, like, which is basically just a way of saying sports club. So yeah, there's the halftime scores. We're going to go ahead and update your scores. Oh my god, how am I supposed to say that? Akhisar Belediyespor. It doesn't even give the full. Thank you. It doesn't even give me the full like. Oh wait, that's what I want to do. Did that wrong. There we go. Boom. There's our updated scores right there for you. We're going back to the half here for Twin Towers and Busted Rubber. Keep an eye on other games. Francois, Creperie, Wandering Lush. Wandering Lush, a good team that looking to get themselves back into the rankings. They probably fell a little further than they should have. But we're going to go ahead and pass over to a red zone opportunity. Hacking Jeans in the red zone right now. I'm going to read off the current standings of the Turkish Super League, which, wow, Fenerbahce are terrible. They are in 16th place out of 18 teams. Okay, so there's Rizespor, Kayserispor, Fenerbahce, Erzurum BB.
Erzurum, baby.
Yeah, Erzurum, baby. Alanyaspor, Akhisarspor, Göztepe, Bursaspor, I've heard of them, Ankara Gücü, Sivasspor, Konyaspor, Galatasaray, Trabzonspor, Yeni Malatyaspor, Beşiktaş, Antalyaspor, Kasimpasa, and Istanbul Başakşehir, who are the first place teams.
Constantinople Başakşehir.
Exactly, yeah. You can't go back to Constantinople Başakşehir. I am shocked that Galatasaray, Beşiktaş, and Fenerbahce, not a single one of those teams are in the top 3. Everything I know is wrong at this point by Weird Al Yankovic. I have no idea what is happening.
Those are the three. Those are the 3 Turkish soccer clubs.
They basically are. They have been forever and ever. Amen. It's just like when Boca and River aren't at the top of the Argentine league, which I'm going to look up that as well. I'm just curious now. Argentina Superliga. Yeah, Boca. Okay. So I'm going to tell you right now, there are 26 teams in the Argentine Superliga.
God damn, and they said MLS was overexpanded.
Yeah, and they do that weird thing where they play 2 different leagues in the summer and the winter, I believe. I think they do. I'm actually not entirely certain. But anyway. Again, so 1 to 26. If I had you guess the total number... Okay, so the place of Boca Juniors and the place of River Plate. So if they were in first and second, you'd say 1 plus 2 is 3. If I asked you to add the 2 numbers of their places together, what would you say it would be? These are 2 teams that are playing in a cup final today.
Yeah, give me 10. Take 10 here.
15. Boca Juniors, 4th place. River Plate,
so I didn't
11.
go over.
River Plate, 11. Boca are in the Copa Libertadores spot. I guess 4 goes to the Copa Libertadores. The 5th goes to a playoff. What sort of teams were they going to be playing today, but are not? River Plate was playing a team called Rosario Central, which I can only assume is owned by Rosario Dawson. Boca Juniors are playing a... they were going to play in the 3rd place team, Atletico Tucumán. Do you know the Tucumán? The Tucumán? Do you know the Tucumán? He lives near River Plate. Oh, God. I love just finding a random league and just reading off the team names, because it's just like, what the hell? Like, most of these are like, some of these are just like city names, but like, I'm going to ask someone in the chat, give me a country in the world, and I'm going to read their soccer teams. Do it, chat!
Let's go to J-League 1.
J-League 1, absolutely. While I'm waiting for something in the chat, we'll do that. J-League 1. Abso-freaking-lutely. Man, this game...
Or it's the J1 League. I'm sorry, the Meiji Yasuda J1 League.
Yeah, go ahead, because I've got the Japan Cup final in it, so that's why I don't have mine, but, let's see. Maybe I can find it here. But yeah, if you got it, go ahead and,
Okay, so let's start at the bottom. These are the teams that would be
here.
Yes. We have Vivara Nagasaki and Kashiwa Reysol, who as it stands. No, okay. Those are 2 teams. Vivara Nagasaki and Kashiwa Reysol. As it stands, they would be relegated to J2 League. Vivara Nagasaki, they're 9 points behind the next place team. Jubilo Iwata are in the relegation playoff. After that, you have the middle of the pack. Nagoya Grampus.
8.
In 15th.
Nagoya Grampus 8, by the way, is their name. I know that one. As if Nagoya Grampus wouldn't make any sense. Like, they really should just embrace the Christmas season and become Nagoya Krampus just for that. For, like, this part of the year.
I know, right?
Oh, did they do a summer league? Their season just ended. Yeah, their season just ended.
Seigen Tosu. Shonan Bellmare. Yokohama F. Marinos, a team that I remember because they sponsor Nissan's factory racing team.
Man,
Vegalta Sendai. Vissel Kobe. Gamba Osaka. Shimizu S-Pulse.
I love the S-Pulse.
By the way, that kind of does sound like that's the name of a fucking finishing move for like a junior heavyweight in Dragon Gate.
Right?
Cerezo Osaka.
There is a guy named Big R Shimizu. He should have a move called the S Pulse. Or the R Pulse, because he's Big R. Anyway, go ahead. Continue.
Cerezo Osaka, FC Tokyo, the most normal last name.
Man, fuck those guys. I bet they're like the Real Madrid.
But here's the thing: they used to be Tokyo Gas FC, sponsored by the Tokyo Gas Natural Gas Company.
Of course.
Then you get to the top 5. Urama Red Diamonds, Consolidol Sapporo, Kashima Antlers, Sanfrecce Hiroshima, and Kawasaki Frontal at the very top.
Hey, Sanfrecce Hiroshima.
Hey, Sanfrecce!
I assume that's how you're supposed to say it. And I assume that every Japanese person just stops and puts on the Babidi Boop Italian. I'm going to go ahead and read the Kazakhstan. I gotta find what the I know one team is FC Astana, so let me just find them, and then I can get everything else.
Oh, of course, there's always an Asana.
Still first down.
Table, yeah, because they're also in a summer league. Ender 3, 28-17, Twin Towers. Not looking good, but what is looking like a good game right now is Del Grango's and Cathy's. We're going to keep an eye on
Oh, yeah, let's flip it over on there.
31-28 towards the end of the third quarter there. We'll get some scores updated for you in a second. 28-17, the score of our featured game.
Number 88 was the intended receiver on the play. That'll bring up 4th and 9.
And we're going to go ahead and keep an eye on this one. While I read to you the Kazakhstan Premier League, LOL FC Astana wins. They won by 15 points.
Personal foul.
From second place. Second place had 62 points. They had 77. We have Kairat Almaty, Tobol Kostanay, Ordabasi Shimkent, Kaysar Kizilorda, Jetisu Taldekorgan, Aktobe. Remember FK Aktobe? They were actually in the Champions League one year. Atirao, Shakhtar Karagandi, FC Kizilzar Petropavlovsk, Irtish Pavlodar, and Akjaik Uralsk. That hurt my mouth. And they do that thing where they go into a championship and a relegation group, kind of like Scotland does. You're familiar with that, right, RJ?
Vaguely familiar.
So Scotland, because Scotland has only 12 teams in their top flight.
I thought they only had 2.
Oh yeah, practically, unfortunately. No. I'm giving some love to Hearts. They had top of the table for a while, then just shat it to Rangers. So Scotland have 12 teams, 2 of which are the ones that anyone gives a shit about if you're outside of Scotland. And so they play everyone plays each other twice, which is 22 games, but that's too few. And you can't do it 4 times because that's now 44 games. That's too many. So they do it 3 each, and they get 33 games. But what they do is they then split the table. Top 6 play each other one more time, and the bottom 6 play each other one more time, and then now it's a promotion and a relegation group. So it's like that's how they kind of balance out the schedule or unbalance it. And man, Cathy's just took the lead.
My goodness.
We got close games all over the place. We're going to go ahead and pop over to Wandering Lush and Francois Creperie, who are all tied up. Septic Tanks for Jesus and Hacking Jeans Smokeless Tobacco Warehouse. They are at 4th. Septic Tanks are at 4th and goal with less than a minute to go. Looking to take the lead in this one. This is a huge play. Potentially Hacking Jeans can take this over if they don't convert. Going for the pitch. Oh, it ain't going to happen. Oh, they get enough space to move out. Hacking Jeans just stopped Septic Tanks for Jesus, a team that was knocking on the door of being ranked.
Oh, goodness.
They
and,
were-
folks, when you stop up a septic tank, it usually leads to a whole lot of shit.
Yep. Well, I'm going to take a look at Septic Tanks for Jesus. I mean, AFC weak conference, but 16th in the RPI, 30th strength of schedule. Played some tough teams. They lost to Rancho, Robusto, beat Danish Lose, beat Happy Release. That's a 5-2, a 4-3, and a 3-4 team. Went on a 5-game winning streak until they lost to Holy Balls, who were 5-2. So this is going to hurt them right now. This is going to drop them to 5-3. That's not going to be good. It's not going to help them out. And
No, it ain't.
no, I mean they're gonna hope to make it to the. They gotta basically hope for the. For the conference championships. I don't think the AFC is getting. I don't think the AFC is getting any more than just one spot. And I'm looking at the standings right now in the AFC. Man, they gotta contend with Holy Balls, and they already lost to them. So they gotta hope that Holy Balls drop something. And yeah, this game will be over. We're gonna go ahead and pop over to we're gonna head over to Wandering Lush and Francois Creperie. That's a final score. Happy Hacking Jeans and Septic Tanks, 21-17. Oh, I don't know what happened to our sound. There we go. There's our sound. So that's going to be it for that game. But we're looking at a tie game here. Wandering Lush could take a late lead here with under 3 minutes to go. Keep an eye on our other games as well. Wandering Lush with the touchdown, taking the lead. Tennessee Cock, Cornelius Menton. Nothing better than Tennessee Cock sometimes.
The Gatlinburg experience.
The Gatlinburg experience, indeed.
Oh, man. I really just... I want to go to that knife store, the one that has like 2 floors of knives and sword. Not necessarily because I'm like huge into knife. Yes, this is in Gatlinburg.
Okay.
Church set to return.
Gatlinburg Knife Bazaar, and I know it's been talked about, but this is the I want to say it's, if I have the right one, it's China Bazaar. No, wait, it's Smoky Mountain Knife Works, and it is a 2-story knife and cutlery shop.
Okay. Now, why do you know about this? And is Gatlinburg known for anything else?
Gatlinburg is kind of the state's big tourist destination. Dollywood is near it. So is Pigeon Forge.
Automatic first down.
That's exactly why I heard of it. Dollywood.
Yeah, it is also the former home of, I believe it is also the former home of Smoky Mountain Wrestling, if I am not mistaken.
Was it
I may
really?
be very much
I believe
mistaken.
you. I have no idea. I'm gonna look it up right now.
Oh no, it was based out of Knoxville, which is like the nearest adjacent big city.
Right, and home to the Wig Sphere.
Right. Home of the Sun Sphere.
I've seen the Sun Sphere. I marked the fuck out.
That'll bring up 3rd and 2.
I was in a van driving from Northern Virginia to Nashville through the night. I got so little sleep. I was so uncomfortable. The sun had already risen.
And over the top, Sun
I
Sphere.
saw the Sun Sphere. By the way, that is a final score. Twin Towers and Busted Rubber. Twin Towers, big win for them.
All the air is out of the Busted Rubber.
Not looking good for them, yeah.
Nope.
Not looking good at all. 35-17, just could not get it going. Yeah, I marked the fuck out for the Sun Sphere.
We now have Wandering Lush and Francois Creperie. Francois Creperie's driving. We could see this game pushed to overtime. Oh no, Hodge, Mobile is the home of Southpaw Regional Wrestling.
Oh, Southpaw, yeah. I can't remember the names of their shows. What were the shows they had in those 2 episodes?
Lethal Leap Year.
That's right.
Yes. which was held on February 29th of what was not a leap year, and that's what ultimately caused the promotion to collapse. God, is there... Gosh. Man, it kind of just makes me feel sad that Alabama does not have like a strong indie scene of its own. Then again, I'm not surprised. Quintuplets Banks.
Yes, old Quint X.
Quinets Banks. CM Chainsaw saw a bear and neon-colored shirts in Gatlinburg, and I'm just thinking, I want to see a bear in a neon-colored tortoise shirt.
For real. Well, Francois and Creperie have, in fact, tied this game up. I'm going to head over to Kathy's Country Cooking. Kathy's Country Cooking have just taken the lead through Dishwalla Pearson. And he is counting blue jerseys.
Every time.
I know, right? Bears and neon shirts. Meanwhile, we're going to go ahead and just let you know that our other game, I just kicked off our late game. Second to none. Curry Shop hosting Danish Lou's Chutney House. Big battle in the Foreign Legion. Having a good
What's the most underrated tourist trap in America?
Ooh.
So there are like many different like vacation destinations. Obviously, the Disney parks, the Universal Studios theme parks.
Of
course. Maybe your preference of beach. Beaches are a good tourist destination.
Yeah.
What's the most solidly underrated tourist destination in these states?
You mean like a tourist trap?
Yeah.
So I don't know of too many. I know of south of the border, which of course is found on the border of South Carolina and North Carolina, and it is mostly a place to buy a lot of fireworks. I really don't know what else there is there.
Buddy, they just turned one of our old big Kmart's into a TNT fireworks store.
Oh my God, I love it. I love it. Branson, Missouri, it truly is what Las Vegas would be like if it were run by Ned Flanders. I find that's amazing. I've never been to Branson, Missouri. That sounds incredible, though. You know, there is...
Personal foul.
In southern
Baseman.
New Jersey...
Defense.
In southern Jersey, there is a giant elephant that is apparently fairly... Lucy the elephant. I'm gonna tell you about Lucy the elephant. I don't think it's all that amazing, but it's a lesser known one. Yeah, Lucy the elephant, the world's greatest elephant. Lucy the elephant is a 6-story elephant-shaped example of novelty architecture constructed of wood and tin sheeting in 1881 in Margate, New Jersey, which is about 5 miles south of Atlantic City. It was originally built to promote real estate sales and attract tourists. Today, it is the oldest surviving roadside tourist attraction in America. I don't think enough people know about Lucy the elephant, but there you go, because it is that significant, you know?
Does the Hell is Real billboard in Ohio on the interstate count as a tourist destination? I feel like it should.
What? Explain this to me.
Okay,
I'm so fascinated.
There is a billboard on the main interstate that goes through Cincinnati up to Columbus and into Cleveland that says "Hell is Real." I'm gonna try and find the backstory to it.
I'm fascinated by this.
So it is.
I've just found a Chicago. There's a Chicago Tribune article that if you found that, that's what I would say. I would trust the Chicago Tribune. By the way, Del Grangos just took the lead again late. Holy cow! This game.
Shit. Yeah. This is just south of Columbus. on the way to or from Cincinnati, depending on which way you were driving here.
The extra point attempt is good.
There is also on the other side of Cincinnati.
I think by the way, from the article that I found, the only story about it existing or its existence is that some couple who own a farm own the billboard, and that's it.
Yeah. Also, I just noticed that one of the Del Grangos players actually clipped through the bench. This game has wonderful collision detection.
I love it. Oh my god, I don't even know what to say to that.
Okay, so on the other side of Cincinnati, there is an adjacent suburb, Florence, Kentucky.
Okay.
Their water tower is built next to their main shopping mall. When the water tower was built, they had painted up in big bold letters Florence Mall to kind of advertise for the new shopping mall. But there was just one problem. City Code didn't really allow that, so they had to hastily paint over parts of the M, and what you now have is the Florence Y'all Water Tower.
Lawrence Y'all. That is amazing.
The Florence Y'all Water Tower. When you pass it on I-71,
so basically they didn't get the okay to paint it there. They already did it, and they're just like, well, whoops.
Yeah. They basically they did something creative with just like rules that were sanctions laid against them. Ohio's so fucking weird.
I mean, like, I don't think I need to know that hell is real. I'm in Ohio already.
Does this make Kentucky weird by extension? Okay,
Yes.
Is Kentucky more of a southern state or a midwestern state?
Oh god, it's gotta be southern, right? It has to be. I feel like that's kind of like saying like I mean that's I feel like this is just going to eventually lead to us making fun of Indiana, which I am for. But
Counterpoint. You can also make the same argument about Missouri.
yeah, that's the thing. They kind of have that special like Midwestern and Southern. Like they get the best of both worlds, which is really not good either way.
Yeah, somehow they managed to pull the worst.
Yeah, they managed to pull the negatives out of both and become Missouri.
Missouri.
And Indiana as well. I feel like Indiana and Missouri are just always competing for the
Counterpoint. Missouri does not have the one big race of the year every year.
Fair. They also don't have meth. Who are we kidding? They have meth.
Both states have meth. It's in abundance.
No sort of shortage in meth. We're gonna go back to that game that is still going on. Kathy's and Del Grangos. Del Grangos trying to finish it out. Looks like they're going to do it. So we're going to go ahead and go back to our... heading over to this game. First score for Danish Lou's Chutney House. And that is going to be a final score. Yup, Del Grangos have done the dang thing.
They dove right into that dumpster and they got the finest cuts of seafoods.
Sure as heck did. And we're going to go ahead and go back to our feature game. There's already about a minute to go in the first quarter. The Mulch Hut trying to prove that they earn that ranking. You know, they got a little bit they got a little bit of stick for not playing nobody, but you know, I think it's starting to realize that they're looking all right. They're looking all right after all. You know, they got a 5th ranked RPI. They're the only team with 1 loss. Their conference is 2nd ranked. They got their strength of schedule is a little weak, 39th out of 60, but I mean, you know, they're playing who's on their schedule. When you look at their non-conference.
And they've won all but 1 game.
Yeah, they lost to Casa de Gordoso, another ranked team. That'll probably be, I think that's poised to be the, that could potentially be the championship game. I don't know if Casa de Grodoso have played Burns and Crackle already. Yeah, they have. Actually, I don't know. Casa de Grodoso got to win the conference, their division outright, because the tiebreaker against Burns and Crackle, they don't have. They lost that game. So, but yeah, Mulch's got some good wins on their schedule. They got a win. They beat Texas Roadhouse on the road. Lost to Casa de Grodoso. That's really all they got on their schedule. I mean, they got a win over Pawn Shop of the Nazarene, who were not expected to be as bad of a team this year. They beat Pablo's Roadside Tacos 3-5. Again, these are two teams that weren't really good, but Pawn Shop were supposed to be better than that. I think the Mulch Shop was like, we'll put some good games on our schedule, and of course they got that big win over the Marmalade Shack, their fierce rivals. I forget what they played for. I wrote it down. They played for the off-brand miter saw, and the Mulch Shop regained the off-brand miter saw.
Does this miter saw have blood on it, since it was Blood Week?
It probably does. Also rust, mostly rust. It kind of just blends in, you know?
Oh, that rusty blood.
Yeah, rusty blood, bloody rust. Rusty blood is a hell of a name. We're looking at, for the first time, at Bully Factory Children's MMA with a 14-0 lead over Moist Adventures.
It looked like I just saw like 50 people just try and dogpile one person all at once there on that exchange.
That's
Safety
fine, probably.
plays are dangerous as hell, and we love them.
We love these kids, just don't know how to do things like this, and that's fine. It's okay. It's the carnage that we crave here.
Goose Marshall sits out of 10 already. He's got Bully Factory up 14-0.
He sure does. And that's going to be the end of one quarter.
Of course, you may not be able to see it, but of course they are wearing their special 542 patches.
Yeah.
In honor of 542 Norman.
Everybody is. Very sad.
It was doing so good.
I can't believe they let a child do that. I mean, you know, I can't believe that the one child in that league died before literally hundreds of children that we have do this. I can't believe that. I'll be honest. I thought by probability we'd have a death before the Diddler Cup did.
I mean, we've come close. Refresh my memory. Who's the quarterback that always seems to get killed every game?
You're thinking of Jakari Haynes of Diddlers.
Haynes.
Not to mention Herbert Lawson of Shifty Lou's. Who's the running back that always gets killed?
Oh, God. Could you imagine Herbert Lawson getting a test drive in a cup car?
I'm sorry, I was just sending a text to make sure that never, ever happens. I would never like to see that happen. You know, I want to get back to, we're talking about tourist traps, because I'm doing my research because I don't know too much about tourist traps. Like the mystery spot, the thing question mark. I'm going to read about this. The mystery spot is a visual illusion-based tourist attraction in Santa Cruz, California.
That'll bring up 2nd and 3.
They experienced demonstrations that appear to defy gravity. Oh, they have like the tilted house illusion.
Buddy, I've seen some houses where it's not an illusion. It's just a poor foundation and a realtor that can't sell this house.
Right. Well, it's like people like leaning. It looks like they're leaning forward without falling over because of the way the house is.
That'll make it 4th and 2.
And like you can even see outside, like, okay, yeah, the camera's just tilted. I like this. I like under activities of the mystery spot. Mystery spot is open for tours 365 days a year. Aside from the attraction itself, there is a 30-minute hiking trail nearby. Someone is there on Christmas. That's like the saddest thing to me. Maybe you want to celebrate Christmas there. I don't know. A gravity hill tilt-induced visual illusion. That's a lot of ways to say that.
Personal foul.
You could just say it's a fucking tilted house.
Yeah. I'm just...
Still first down.
I'm just kind of confused by this whole, like... I feel like I'm not wrapping my head around the full, like, understanding of this optical illusion. Like, I get the whole, like, tilted thing, but it's like the how does it make, like, where things appear to be rolling uphill. I'm like, I don't understand how that even, like, optical illusion works. I'm like, wouldn't you... Anyway, The Thing is an Arizona roadside attraction hyped by signs along Interstate 10 between El Paso and Tucson. Oh, we're keeping it local. A large number of billboards entice travelers along this sparse stretch of desert highway to stop, just to find out what the mysterious thing might be. The object, supposedly a mummified mother and child, is believed to have been made by exhibit creator Homer Tate for sideshows. Jesus Christ, that's something you want to be warned about.
That's our championship trophy.
Yeah, it is now. We're stealing it. Today, the site is under the ownership of Bolin Travel Centers. Despite its remoteness, the attractions are popular. I want to just... Which used to cost $1 for adults and 75 cents for children. Used to lead to 3 prefabricated corrugated steel sheds with overhead fluorescent track lighting. Inside are a variety of exhibits, including odd wood carvings of tortured souls by famous wood carver Ralph Gallagher. The Wooden Fantasy of painted driftwood purchased from a New Mexico collector. A Conestoga wagon from Oklahoma. The play. A buggy without a horse, and a vintage American automobile from the 30s. Most of the exhibits are dusty but historically significant and worthy of restoration. Let's see. Winding corridors and exhibit halls with painted monster footprints on the floors eventually lead to the, quote, thing. A mummified, likely female mother of possibly Chinese or Native American descent. And a who died or would likely was killed in the 1880s to early 1900s, and a mummified child, age and descent unknown, but inferred to be the son and daughter of the mother. They are presented in separate... This is fucking disturbing. Like, imagine just being like, oh yeah, we gotta find out what the thing is, and you're just like, oh.
So, the mummified mother is the championship trophy, and the mummified child goes to the league MVP.
Sure, yeah, I like it.
But the mummified child is our Heisman trophy.
Oh, don't worry. Next year, I'm going to plan on keeping stats as well. We could easily do a fantasy league at South Tucson if people felt so inclined to. Yeah, I got nothing else of interest in this one. Man.
Number 2 makes the reception.
Tourist trap. Would you call Dollywood a tourist trap?
That makes it 3rd and 15.
Or is that like an actual amusement park?
That is an actual amusement park. I would say Chattanooga has more tourist traps. I mean, there's a giant waterfall. There's a place where you can supposedly see 7 states at once because you're so high up the mountain. I don't know how much of those 7 states you can actually see, but okay.
I mean, okay, so like as a child, I was disappointed to learn the borders were not really drawn in. So that would be a way you could not tell. But that would be cool if they were. That'd be a cool way.
There is, of course, the incline railway, which is an old-timey like railroad that it moves about 5 miles per hour, but it's on a really, really steep incline because that used to be a way that people would get from the top of the mountain all the way to the bottom of the mountain. Now they don't need that anymore, so it's just like, hey, it's basically a ride.
Okay. Huh.
I would have been so freaked out if that thing moved any faster than 5 miles per hour. Like, I heard stories that this is like, oh my goodness, this is the most wild ride. I'm like, damn, does this go like 55, 60 miles per hour? Especially when we got in the seats and you're not strapped in. I'm like, oh, hold on, wait a minute. Actually, no, this is just a nice leisurely ride down.
Which ride was this again? I'm sorry.
The incline railway.
That brings up 2nd and 1.
Gotcha. That is something. You're kind of waiting. You're like it's like all the excitement and thrills of the lift, the chair lift in the chain lift and roller coaster without the
Yes. I know, right?
We're gonna go ahead and head over to one of our other games. We're on. We're keeping an eye on that one. I know. Bully Factory in the red zone. We've got upset alert right now.
Oh boy!
The number one team in South Tucson, seems to be without their quarterback. Oh, just airs it out. And a flag. Well, I was just going to say, they were down a touchdown. They are looking to protect that ranking.
Number 14 was the intended receiver on the play. That brings up 3rd and 10.
Meanwhile, we'll head back to Bully Factory and Moist Adventures. See what they can do. They're going to kick it. Yep, they get that one. And head over to Diddlers and the binging Texan. Man, I am fascinated by these like roadside. I'm reading one that's like, it's called Wall Drug. A tourist attraction. It's the Wall Drug Store. Yeah, located in the town of Wall, South Dakota. It's a shopping mall consisting of a drugstore, gift shop, restaurants, and other various other stores. Unlike a traditional shopping mall, all the stores operate under a single entity instead of being individually run stores. The New York Times has described it as a sprawling tourist attraction of international renown that draws some 2 million annual visitors to a remote town. But why? I don't understand.
When I first heard the name, I thought this was just like, okay, is this like an abandoned attempt of like Walmart to start like a chain of drugstores to compete with CVS and Walgreens and Eckerd?
Yeah, it earned much of its fame from its self-promotion. Billboards advertising it can be seen for hundreds of miles throughout South Dakota and neighboring states. Many visitors of Wall Drug erected signs throughout the world announcing the miles to Wall Drug from various locations. What? I don't understand its there's like no significance to this. To date, Wall Drug still offers free ice water, but as they mentioned that earlier, I skipped it. They have become more popular. They have started to offer free bumper.
Oh, we had a doink!
We'd have a doink? Nice.
We had a doink at the diddle.
Beautiful. Oh, it's not good for the Big D. We're at the half in that game.
Personal foul.
Danish lose, and Second to None are already in the third quarter, and they're going to head over to our feature game. Mulch down by a touchdown to Rancho Robusto.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
That's still early, and Mulch are moving down. Crux Steak only 1 yard on that one. I'm still trying to figure out what the hell the significance of Wall Drug is. It's in the 1989 book The Lost Continent, Bill Bryson wrote, "It's an awful place, one of the world's worst tourist traps, but I loved it, and I won't have a word said against it." I don't understand what makes it so significant. I don't get this. They have over 300 original oil paintings. What? I don't understand what's the point of this. There's nothing like it's a store. Okay. I just don't get it. I don't. Oh my god, I love this. So I like this is apparently Breezewood, Pennsylvania represents a physical tourist trap at the intersection of Interstate 70 and Interstate 76, where the two major highways are not directly connected, forcing transiting drivers off the interstate and into several suddenly urban blocks with traffic lights and a dense bazaar of gas stations, fast food restaurants, and motels. That is the true tourist trap. And wow, is that amazing. That is dense as fuck. I'm going to post that in the Discord for y'all's enjoyment. And if you do not have access to our Discord, please let us know. I'll provide a link. There's a link below, I believe, as well.
Put it in the chat. Join us. We're going to be talking about all the important things. Copa Libertadores, World Darts Championship.
Yes. Starting Thursday. What was the third one?
Bowlmageddon.
Bowlmageddon.
So if you're the kind of degenerate who skips out on work to watch 2, 7-5, or 6-6 teams play bowl games, this is your time of year.
I mean, man, that's, God, that sounds almost enticing. Well, 14-14 at the half. We're heading back. Diddlers start off the third quarter with a touchdown to tie this up.
If you don't work in the industry, if it's not your team, could you imagine just being such a degenerate, just being like, hey, listen, I'm gonna have to call in sick. They're playing the Cure Bowl in Orlando this afternoon, and I don't think I can make it into work.
I hope the Cure Bowl is sponsored by Robert Smith.
Oh no, it's not. It's sponsored by AutoNation.
Oh, okay. It'd be much better if it was both sponsored by The Cure, by the actual band The Cure. We're talking about, this is actually kind of where two discussions kind of come together. We're talking about tourist traps, and we're also talking about, or just structural wonders of this great nation, and Bowlmageddon, and how the Bahamas Bowl is sponsored by a random town in Illinois.
Yes.
And basically the reason Makers Wanted is the name of the sponsor, because it's bought by some, it's like America's largest industrial park. There's like over 100,000 employees across like over 100 companies or something.
This is in Elk Grove, Illinois.
Elk Grove, Illinois. Yeah, it's a large industrial park. It's the highest concentration of like companies and employees, and there aren't that many that are actually of like significance. Like the number of employees per company, only 2 of them are over 1,000 employees. One of them is ADP, which you probably know if you get a paycheck, because they're probably the ones that process your paycheck.
Yeah.
ADP stands for Automatic Data Processing. They're probably the most notable one of all of those. And they decided to sponsor the Bahamas Bowl, because why not?
Why the hell not? I mean, you have Bad Boy Mowers sponsoring the former Beef O Brady's Bowl.
Is that a step up or is that a step down for them?
I think it's a sideways step.
Okay.
I think it's just as ridiculous.
It's just a jump to the left then. Okay.
Right. Beef O Brady's, back before they eventually became like Applebee's did, used to have some of the most ridiculous menu items. I believe the corned beef wonton was one of the dishes. Now it is sponsored.
Wonton?
Yes.
So wait, was Beef O Brady's was a restaurant?
Yes, it is still a restaurant, but it is. I don't know
why I thought it was something else.
Ultra sanitized.
Goodness me. Heading out to Rancho Robusto and the Mulch Hut. Big play by Rancho Robusto. By the way, this is Rancho Robusto just outside of, they were the unofficial 11th ranked team, so they are trying to play their way in to the top 10. So good game here. We're going to keep an eye on this one for just a little bit.
Okay, I'm about to go. I found this from an old Grantland article written by the full cast, Holly Anderson. This is a quiz to find. There are 3 Beef O Brady's menu items as of 2013. Your job is to spot the fake.
No.
So the first one, there is A, cheesy bacon pub chips, B, bangers and mash spud stuffers, or C, the fresh Angus cheeseburger wrap. And your goal is to pick the item that is fake.
Oh, those all sound so reasonable. Okay, so give me each one at a time. I'm going to try to break down what I think these are.
Okay, so the first one is it's either A, cheesy bacon pub chips.
Okay, so that sounds like it's cheesy bacon pub chips, Sounds like it's either potato chips or fries with just cheese and bacon on it. Okay, that seems reasonable. Go ahead.
Okay. The second is the bangers and mashed spud stuffers.
Okay, that sounds like it could be like a potato skin stuffed with like sausage and more mashed potatoes, because why not?
And C, the fresh Angus cheeseburger wrap.
See, this is where it's probably gonna get me in trouble, because I'm gonna think structurally. There's making a cheeseburger wrap sounds untenable, and also the fact that wraps usually means something healthy, and that is not the direction we're going in. But I feel like that's there to catch me off. So I'm gonna say it's the Angus wrap, just on a structural impossibility answer.
You're going with C, the fresh Angus cheeseburger.
I'm probably
wrap.
wrong, but go ahead.
The correct answer is B. It's the bangers and mashed spud stuffers.
Okay, that was like the most weird sounding one. I'm surprised that was not. I'm surprised I got on that one.
All right, section 2. This is more misappropriated punctuation. Your choices are A, Tipperary tuna tacos. B, the steak burrito.
The steak burrito. Okay.
And C, nachos O Brady.
So Nachos O Brady sounds like that's what they would do. I feel like Nachos O Brady has to be real. Give me the other two. So Tipperary tuna tacos.
Yes.
And what was B again?
Yes. B is the, in quotations, steak burrito.
The steak burrito. And what were you?
Capitalized in quotes.
Yeah, you were gonna say something else. What was that? I interrupted you.
Again, Tipperary tuna tacos. Again, tuna has an apostrophe between the U and the N, and tacos also has an apostrophe after the T.
Wow. See, that is making me think that that's possibly made up. I'm going between A and B on this one. You know what? I feel like it's Holly Anderson, and it's one of those like when you know, like it's like when you play Cards Against Humanity and you know that the Dookie card is gonna make your friend laugh, Mrs. Seth, or the one that says doo-doo. Sorry, doo-doo is what it was.
Doo-doo.
That's a hell of a catch by Bradley Ruffin for the catch. For getting the red zone for the mulch shot. I'm going to say it's the steak whatever.
So you're going with B, the steak burrito.
Yeah.
The correct answer is A, Tipperary tuna tacos.
Okay,
so Bryan, they're now 0 for 2, but there's still time to make up bowl eligibility in Section 3. Wait, what? Okay, so your choices are A, corned beef wontons, B, Kickin' Bayou barbecue wings, or C, OMG pretzel roll sliders.
It's got to be the OMG pretzel roll sliders. Those don't seem like they are. I feel like OMG would not be in the Beef O'Brady's clientele vernacular.
The correct answer is A. And I actually misremembered. I could have sworn the corned beef wontons were a genuine part of their menu.
See, that's why I didn't say it, because I thought you led me astray.
I misremembered that. Okay, so that's a tie. We'll break it even.
The rare college football tie.
Yes. We'll move
that
on
was
then
canceled due to lightning. We're not replaying that one.
Yes.
We're not replaying that one. We're pulling a Virginia Tech on that one. We're only if I get to 5 and 6 are we gonna have to replay that one.
That's timely. Section 4 is tantalizing tipples. So I'm guessing these are alcoholic beverages, potent potables, if you will.
Potent potables.
A petite déjeuner.
Yeah, the 8 tip.
Catch these men. Actually, these are not the choices here. Your choices are A, the beef Orita.
Okay.
B, the bloody O Brady. Or C, the St. Patty's snake expelling colada.
Wait, the St. Patty's snake expelling colada?
Yes.
That one sounds so it's gotta be B. The bloody O Brady cannot be real.
The correct answer is C, the St. Patty's snake expelling colada.
happened? I'm going in the wrong direction here.
Okay, so far we're at 0-3-1. There's still
fine.
time to salvage a win in the rivalry game.
That's fine.
Final question of sweet treats. These are dessert items. Okay, your choices are A, chocolate eruption cake.
That sounds real.
B, signature Irish limeade. Or C, Sunday, Bloody Sunday.
Wow. What was the second one again? Signature Irish what?
Signature Irish limeade.
Is it dessert?
Yeah, this is either it's a dessert, it's sweet treats.
Gotcha.
So it could be a dessert, it could be an aperitif.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say that I feel like I've been thinking about all this wrong, and it's the ones that are a little too extreme that end up being the ones that are just like, nah, it's not real. I'm going with the Sunday Bloody Sunday.
Ryan, you're correct.
Yes! Yeah!
We finish at
Take that,
1-3-1.
I beat that team up north.
But yeah, this is just a demonstration of how, at one point in time, Beef O'Brady's menu items were so ludicrous that even the fake ones sound believable. Even to myself, the person who's posing the questions.
Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing.
I legitimately thought corned beef wontons were a genuine part of their menu item. That's the thing. That's how ridiculous some of this shit is. And I've never been to a Beef O'Brady's before it became Bennigan's 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Jesus. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't... Where are Beef O'Brady's found? That's what I don't understand.
Yeah, so according to Wikipedia, it was a restaurant franchise established in the United States in 1985 by Jim Melody in Brandon, Florida.
So this is like a Florida exclusive thing.
As of January 2011, Beef O'Brady's has 215 locations in many different states, which are mostly located in the Gulf southern coast of the United States. So you're not far off.
I see. Well, I'm fascinated by all of this. We're almost seeing the end of this game here. Diddler's down by 10, looking to try to get back to one score here. Using their backup quarterback. You might hear some other sounds. I just started the game of River Plate. Boca Queequeg Manticore with the big touchdown for Diddlers. I'm going to head over to a big win for Danish Lose. Looking to be putting that one away soon.
Automatic first down.
Oh my god, someone has already rolled. Dude, someone just got kicked and rolled 4 times. I love this already. Oh my god, this is the best already. I'm gonna send it to you in private. There's a Beef O'Brady's in Frederick. I'm going, and I may not come back.
You need to find out if there is still the signature Irish limeade, at least.
I will try anything that was in that list.
Good grief.
Well, that's the end of that game. We're going to head over to some other games here. Binging, Texan, Diddlers. Binging trying to just run the clock out on this one. Danish Lose. Big win over second to none. 21-10 in that.
Also, I'm not a fan of everybody around this part of the country that's getting snow instead of us, who are just getting like cold drizzle.
And that's going to be it. The number 1 team in South Tucson loses a second time.
Oh my
This
God.
time at home. That is a lot of sad fans in the
Blood
Big
Week
Diddle.
is real. Diddler's Family Restaurant. Drop one in the Big Diddle.
This might be another case of Blood Week, man.
Blood Week 2, the reblooding.
The re-bloodening. Yeah, I'm looking around.
Personal foul.
Let me take a look at the rankings so far. We got Diddlers and Burns and Crackle at 1 and 2. Diddlers we know lost. Burns and Crackle didn't see that. Lost a close one to Yoga for Fatties.
Oh my God.
Nothing but Borscht. Casa de Gordoso. Let's see. Nothing but Borscht might be the number 1 team in South Tucson after this week. They got a win. They got a win over Mama Laganos, 24-21. Mulch just tied it up with 3:44 to go. We're gonna stick with this game because this one's probably gonna end first. Moist Adventures, Bully Factory. Moist Adventures taking the lead over Bully Factory. I'm gonna see 4 and 5 are Casa de Gordoso and Abigail Mays. Casa de Gordoso, where are they? They lost earlier, 31-10 to Fat and Lazy Motorized Scooters. Abigail Mays lost by a field goal to Flappy Pappies, 31-28. That's 4 out of 5 teams already. Shifty Lou's Holy Balls, the Mulch Hut's playing right now. Texas Roadhouse and Twin Towers. We know that Twin Towers got their win.
Yeah,
in the
Twin
early
Towers
game.
is set to move way
They're going to move up. Marty Mason with a touchdown there.
Adventures just scored.
Yep, and we're going to head over to our live game right now because it is tied and closer there. As I go through the rest of these things, Shifty Lou's Holy Balls and Texas Roadhouse. Let's see how they did. Holy Balls. Looking for them. Where did they play today? Holy Balls got a win over Autopsies by Candace, 28-10. Texas Roadhouse. I think they were playing in the early session. No, they weren't. No, they lost 28-24 to the Horse Pussy Saloon, so they'll drop out. And who was the other one I was saying? It was Shifty Lou's Arcade in the 6th spot. They lost 14-10 to Mitch's Toys and Guns. So, Blood Week 2.0 perhaps. Like, how many teams is that? That is 1, 2, 3.
Speaking of Blood Week,
Yeah.
Boca River Plate just started.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 5 minutes in. I got it up. I am watching with
We're here
bated breath.
we're here for all the great stuff. You know, Argentine soccer.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's see. So that's 4 out of 5. Shifty Lou's lost.
Foul. Face mask.
Taxes lost.
Defense.
So that's 6. Yeah, so it'll be less than Blood Week because only 6 teams have lost so far. The Mulch Hut could make it 7, but it still would not beat last week's of 8, where literally every possible ranked team lost. Bully Factory on 3rd and 10. We're going to go over to that one just in a second. This might be their last chance. Bully Factory, 3rd and 10, under a minute to go. Man, we covered a lot of ground today. We covered tourist traps. We covered beef O Brady's. We read off some funny soccer names.
Yeah, we haven't even covered the greatest act of fatherhood in the year 2018.
Go on.
Done by a former World Championship Wrestling talent. If you're familiar with the name Joseph Bruce, you may know that Joseph Bruce is a multimedia icon.
Okay.
A bit of a rabble-rouser. You may also know him by a different name. The name Violent J, one half of the Insane Clown Posse.
Yes.
So, Violent J has 2 children, one of whom is Ruby, who is an aspiring furry. Yes, that Ruby is an aspiring furry, and for her birthday, she wanted to go to Rosemont, Illinois for Midwest Fur Fest. And Violent J just wanted to be the best dad ever, so he commissioned a suit not only for his daughter, but also for himself, with a mascot with a head that was painted up like his damn face paint.
Wait, was he himself as a furry?
Yes.
Not even like an animal version of himself, but like he was a mascot, basically, of himself. He has a mascot costume of himself. Bully Factory, hold the phone here. Bully Factory trying to go for two. They got the 2-point conversions, 28-25. They could tie this game up.
This is the reclamation of the worst parts of WCW, where we have Father of the Year, Violent J, and indie deathmatch wrestling hero David Arquette.
I mean, yeah. And by the way, this just is a further reminder. Yeah, okay, so I think Moist Adventures has won this one. We're going to head over to the live game.
Oh,
not recover the onside kick.
Still first down.
So that game is over. Moist Avengers just had to kneel it out. And we're at the end of this game. Rancho Robusto took the lead. Down a touchdown is the Mulch shot. They're going to try to tie this game up. Out of bounds, 1:15 to go, and a flag will help him out.
Personal foul.
Look, I appreciated that 70s guy, Mike Awesome. I know it was a dumb gimmick for a very talented wrestler. And he did kind of
Automatic first down.
bust Shaggy 2 Dope up with a power bomb on the top of a bus. But you were making a point here as we were talking about the greatest father in the Midwestern region, and we're talking about David Arquette.
Yeah, it turns out Juggalos are all right.
Turns out Juggalos are fine. I mean,
The ICP are all right. Like, I mean, the Gathering of the Juggalos. I spoke to a friend of mine who is also a professional wrestler, and she went to the Gathering of the Juggalos and told me about how cool everyone was. That's a pick. This game might be over. Mulch Hut might be dropping out.
I mean, listen. They knew that something was wrong. They knew something was up with Tila Tequila when they invited her over. This was before she took a hard turn into to flat eartherism. But not only that, I think this also goes to show that. I think it also goes to show as well, Jim Cornette's opinions have aged worse with time. Like a fine gallon of milk.
I was gonna say like a fine milk.
Aged like fine milk.
Beautiful.
Fittingly, it's been in a Dairy Queen refrigerator that's been turned off the whole time.
Oh my goodness.
Rancho Robusto can just kneel this out here.
I think they're going to. The Mulch should have one timeout left.
And that's it. The Mulch Hut. Well, we talked about at the start of the show that the Mulch Hut had failed upward out of Blood Week 1.0. But in the sequel, just like any Final Destination movie, if death doesn't come for you in the first 5 minutes, it'll come for you eventually.
Yeah, sequel's never as good. That's the problem there. And that looks like
It's
a final
never
score,
Street
35-28. They just couldn't keep up with them. Rancho Robusto, however, look like they're going to find themselves in the rankings now. Look at that for them. Well, that's going to do it for us. If you were looking for Boca River, you're only about 11 minutes into that game. That is going to be that's going to be a fun one. You should totally check it out if you can. Got more. We got some HCL playing tonight on the 8 Crazy Fights. We've been showing some old HCLs, getting that going, getting the blood pumping for that shit. So hope you enjoy that. Hope you enjoyed this. It's a little lesser Blood Week 2.0 maybe, but a solid one. We'll have to see what the rankings do. We'll start figuring out who's going to make in the playoffs and who's in championship contention.
It's going to be good. We're getting closer to the bowl movement. We're getting closer to the playoffs.
Yeah, well, bowl movements don't happen anymore. It's now just the it's just the playoffs. Playoffs?
They'd just be lucky if they can win a game.
Hello? Herm is going to a bowl, man. Herb's going bowling.
Herb is much like most people over 65. They're going bowling.